Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Luke. If it's your first time here, we welcome you to the Gibson Hustle, where we discuss different hustles of business and investing with the main driver to build wealth over time. In this video, I'm going to use what I like to call the KISS approach, which is keep it simple, stupid. We're just going to do a real quick video on a passive investing approach that I would do if I was to have my time again in the market in 2022. Platform that I'll be covering will be the Comsec Pocket App. You might have already heard about it, but if you haven't, hopefully you get educated, and I hope you guys start your journey, if you haven't, early next year. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so investing basics. You really have two options. You can take a passive approach or you can take an active approach. In this video, we're going to be talking about the passive approach. If you do want to follow a playlist with active investing, I'll link above, which you can follow a journey where I'm trying to grow 50K into $1 million over a 10-year period. But let's be real, when I started passive investing, and all my learnings was 100% self-taught. I was watching videos like this, I was listening to podcasts, I was reading books, reading every article I could get my hands on. Just no one really talked about investing in my circle. And my friends and family, they always ask how I got into it and when they should get into it. And my answer to them is always yesterday. Just learn as much as you can and start investing yesterday. Now I know that's impossible, but what I'm trying to say is you should really start straight away, because the sooner you start, the better you can reap the benefits of the compounding on your returns in the long term. But yeah, as we said in the intro, let's talk about the Comsec Pocket App. Now, if you don't have one set up, it's really easy to set up. They make it really easy for everybody to use. So it only takes about 5 minutes, and all you need is a Comsec NetBank ID. Once you have that, you can set up the Comsec Pocket App and then download it on your phone, and then you can start investing. Now we'll jump over to the website and we'll just go through a couple of the benefits that they have, and then we'll go through a couple of the risks which are inherent in any investment decision that you make. Hey, fancy seeing you here. All right, let's run through this. We won't spend too much time on it. It's not really a Comsec Pocket App review or anything, but this is just the perfect gateway, I find, to get into the passive investing for next year if you so want to. But basically, $50 is like the minimum trade you can do on here. $1,000 is like the maximum, but you can do multiples. We'll run through quickly the investment options. So if you don't know firstly what an ETF is an exchange traded fund. And if you look at this one, this is the Aussie Top 200 ETF. I believe it's IOZ as the ticker. And what that means is if you buy one of these ETF parcels, well, $50 minimum, so it depends how many you have to buy to get to the $50. But every single ETF will have a slither of the top 200 Aussie companies on the ASX. So think about it that way. You buy one share in this ETF and you own a little bit of the top 200 companies in Australia. Now that's pretty cool. I'm pretty impressed that they brought these out in the last few years. But you've got the Aussie Top 200, Aussie Dividends, Global 100, Emerging Markets, Health-wise, and Sustainability Leaders, and Tech Savvy. So they're the ones that you can invest into. So we'll move through the benefits. So as we discussed before, it's affordable to start. So you can invest with as little as $50. The choices are simple. There's only 7 to choose from. So you're not running in and just so crazy amount of stocks to choose from. And you don't have to really put that much research in. You can just buy into each ETF, which really tracks an index. And it's quite a safe option. Like everything's got risk, but it's one of the safer options than actually picking single stocks. You're buying multiple stock in one go. Now the low cost, so it's only $2 per trade up to $1,000, and there's no ongoing account keeping fees ever, which is great. Now when you buy a share, so I like to buy $1,000 in this app because it's only $2 a trade. So you work that out, I believe it's 0.2%. So it doesn't really eat into your returns over the long term, which is great. But it's totally each to their own. If you've only got $100, throw $100 at it. It's $100 better in the share market than going and blowing up the wall. But then, as I was saying before, gives you opportunity to grow your investing knowledge, gain experience as a share investor, and learn from handy tips and articles. So they do send you articles like every couple of weeks, and you can read up on what's happening in the economy and stuff. So it does keep you a little bit informed, which is good. And regularly invest, so you can set automatic fortnightly or monthly investments and build your portfolio gradually, which is really good if you can't trust yourself. So if you get paid every 2 weeks, just take a slither out of your paycheck, have it regularly invested, and you'll just watch it grow over time, which is great. It's just like having savings that get a return on your investment. Then it's integrated with the net bank, which we discussed before. It's really easy to set up and it's really quick, like literally takes you 5 minutes. I've had a fair few friends set it up and off they went. Now we'll go to the risk. So all investments come with some degree of risk, so it's important to do your own research before you commit to anything. And as it says, I am not a financial advisor, so do your own research. So you do have the risk of capital loss. So ETFs can go up or down in value. If you sell your investments when the price is lower than what you paid for it, you will lose money, obviously. But it's kind of a set and forget thing. Think of it as like a retirement plan. Just put the money in, let it do its own thing. Just leave it alone and just watch it compound over time. So there's currency risk. If you buy an ETF that invests in overseas companies or assets, a change in the value of the Australian dollar might affect the value of your investment. I haven't really noticed this, but I do use Sharesight to track this kind of thing. It's only really been positive for me. One thing that you keep an eye on. The ETF specific risks. So some ETFs will have their own specific risks. So always read the PDSs, also available via the app before you invest. Each to their own. But yeah, that's basically how I started, guys. A few years back, I just started passively investing in the Comsec Pocket App. I bought the 7 ETFs. I was buying like 400, 500 bucks at a time. I was watching them go in the red. I got a bit scared, but I just kept dollar cost averaging in. And over time, I just watched it build, and I looked at it last week, and I believe overall the portfolio's up about 30%, which is really nice. But yeah, it's really just getting started. Like that's the biggest step. I tell my friends and family all the time, like, just take that first step, make your first investment, don't get too emotional, leave it alone, let it do its thing. And over time, I promise you, you'll come back and you'll thank me. It's really good. It's really good. But that's basically it, guys. I said I was going to keep this one short. It's my first talking head in a while. I'm doing it from home, as you can see. I said I'd start doing some more talking heads when I reach 100 subscribers. I believe last time I checked, I was at 96. So if you're watching this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, and tickle that bell to get notified when my weekly videos keep coming out. If you want to see an active investing playlist, I'll link one above, but it's basically me taking 50K and growing into $1 million over a 10-year period. So if that tickles your fancy, jump over and check it out. And that one also has a weekly video that comes out. But other than that, guys, you guys behave for New Year's, and I'll see you in the new year. And you all know the saying, keep healthy and wealthy. See you guys.